All right. Kev, you want me to go into it with this one? Yeah, let's go into it with this one.
Go into it.
Yeah, Oregon at Penn State. The whiteout game. Oregon is somehow getting 3.5. I think that's just because of the home field advantage, being that they're going to be in Beaver Stadium on the whiteout. Arguably one of the toughest environments to play in football.
I mean, certainly, I would say toughest special occasion. Like, toughest special occasion thing.
Oh, yeah.
Hands down.
Definitely. All right. And the over-under on the line is going to be 51.5. It is a night game. This is reeks of a game that I probably wouldn't have made it to back when I was in school. But you know, now I will say this is going to be an exciting game, Kev. This is just going to be fun to watch. I, earlier on in the season, was calling this potential game of the year, depending on how you look at it. Not in terms of my confidence for my pick by any means, but in terms of just watching it. But let's get into some facts, Kev. I'm going to kick it to you.
Okay. And this would be potentially my game of the year, but I would say this might be the game I've been least confident about that we're picking yet in week 5 now. I've gone back and forth a bunch of times. I'm going to, one thing you mentioned, we were talking Big Ten schedules. So Oregon last year, I was looking at their schedule, and this does suck because I told myself after last week, I'm not going to look at last year's anything to judge what I think is going to happen this year. But it's just worth noting that Oregon had such a cupcake road schedule in the Big Ten. They played at UCLA, at Purdue, at Michigan, at Wisconsin. None of them were ranked. Michigan was having a down year. Like, this is going to be their first true road test in the Big Ten.
Yes, that's. Yeah. I think that's constant between both of these teams. Just throwing it in there.
But Penn State is, they've over the years they've played at Michigan. I'm saying, like, this is Oregon's welcome to the Big Ten game, and it's really two untested teams. I think what I'm seeing amongst the fan bases are Oregon's afraid that Penn State's just going to be able to run it down their throat, control the tempo of the game, and their offense isn't going to be able to break away with big plays like they've been able to do against teams without as high caliber athletes. I think Penn State's fan base, they're afraid that their offense has been stuttering against Nevada, against FIU
exactly.
early. And
yes.
Like, they pulled away in the end. They're afraid that they're just going to shut down when they run into the Ducks. So not to give away my pick, but I am going over, and I just have one stat to back that up, and I'm going to kick it back to you, Tyler. But since the start of the 2021 season, Penn State's hosted 9 ranked teams, and only once did the total score eclipse 50. That was in 2022 when Ohio State won 44-31.
Ooh, I like that one. Kev, I got a lot of notes written on this game. Okay. Let me just
all of my notes. That's all I've done.
Okay. So I can monologue now?
Yeah, you take it the rest of the way.
Okay, wait a minute. Before we do that, Kev. Oh, live update for you. All right. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, if you saw a brief pause there. We had to stop the game because it was the final field goal attempt for the Seahawks to win against the Cardinals tonight. And our boy Kev has his first of 5 legs. All right. We're good. Okay, so let me get back into the zone here a little bit. Let me talk about Oregon first. So, while Oregon has been running up the points offensively against everybody they played, the one thing we have to note here, rush yards per game from their opponents. Oregon's ranked number 50 nationally, Kev. Did you know that?
I did not.
Okay, fantastic. 129.7 rush yards per game against, mostly cakewalk opponents, depending on how you look at Oregon State and Oklahoma State. Yeah, they're Power 4, but they could probably be Group of 5 at this point. And Kev, okay, I want to ask you a quick question. In the offseason, when you heard about Penn State, what was the biggest storyline?
Running back. I don't know. What was it?
Okay. Yes, that's right. They're dynamic duo running backs in
Thunder and
Nicholas
Lightning.
Singleton and Katron Allen. Okay. Everybody's talking about how they're so great, how Penn State's rushing game is going to eclipse them based on what their guys have done. Where have they been, Kev? Neither of these guys are on the top 50 yards, rush yards out of the country. Okay? Jake Retzlaff, the quarterback for Tulane, is number 27.
You're going to make me bring up that same counterpoint again, though. They're two running backs. They're splitting the yardage.
They're splitting the yardage, but, I mean, come on. They're both supposed to be top 10 running backs in the country. I get it. Fine. Fair enough. I did also go back, and I should say, like, if we're looking at Penn State's, do I have rush yard per game on here? Yes, I do. Guess what they're ranked nationally, Kev?
What?
45.
Ooh. Yeah. All right. I will say Penn State's leading rusher has more than Oregon's leading rusher. That's all. I mean,
okay.
But
I didn't hear that. Yeah. Going into my second page of notes here, Kev. We do have to note Penn State coming off a bye. I kind of touched on it earlier, but Oregon does have a marginally better resume because they played teams that we know have college football programs. Now, let's talk about the quarterbacks. All I heard this offseason, not all I heard about quarterbacks because I heard mostly only about Arch Manning, and we saw how that went. But one of the other names I mostly heard about was Drew Aller, okay? Right now.
Five-star.
Five-star, yeah. Right now, lining up their metrics between him and Dante Moore, the quarterback who has been on Oregon for 3 seasons, learned under Bo Nix and Jackson Dart, who's getting his first start this week. Praise up the Moore family. Okay, let's compare their stats back to back, all right? Drew Aller, 57 per 88 completions per attempts, 64.8%. Dante Moore, 71 completions per 95 attempts, 74.7%. Dante Moore is ahead. Yards per attempt, Drew Aller, 7.1. Dante Moore, 10.1. Point Dante Moore. Total yards in the games in the season, Drew Aller, 626 yards. Dante Moore, 962 yards. Point Dante Moore. I'm not going to go into more of these. I could for the rest of this show, Kev. What I'm trying to say is, so far, one of these QBs has clearly shown by numbers that he's better. Now, he hasn't been quite tested. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, to reiterate a point you made, I'll do a similar comparison. Oklahoma State, Nevada, who's better? Probably Oklahoma State.
I want to in post. I want to edit like the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire thing right now. Oklahoma State, Nevada.
One. Yeah. Because I'm just comparing opponents. Northwestern, FIU, who's better? Northwestern. Oregon State, Villanova. I thought Villanova just had basketball. So I mean, you are right when you're talking about level of competition. It's not like Oregon's facing monsters, but.
Yeah.
Sorry to disrupt you. I just had to keep that
look. I appreciate it, man.
You're about to make me change my pick, not to spoil it, but.
Big Ten championship rematch. Let's remember how that went last year. Our Ducks won it. Quack, 45-37. Do they quack at the game? I feel like they should.
I think Quack trademarked that.
Oregon.
Nick Saban.
Yeah, Saban and Dion are going to both fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I will note, in that Big Ten championship game, the rush defense for Oregon was a problem. That's where we did actually see Katron Allen and Nicholas Singleton show up, okay? Because, Katron Allen, 14 carries, 124 yards, 1 touchdown. Singleton, 10 carries, 106 yards. And Drew Aller even got a slice of the pie with 54 yards and 1 touchdown. So, look, the quarterback, I give to Dante Moore. I think Penn State needs to show up more than they have in a way that they haven't been. On to the picks. Kev, you ready?
Yep, and this is because Jim Knowles, the Penn State defensive coordinator, go ahead, click it. Penn State defensive coordinator in his first year was the Ohio State defensive coordinator last year. We saw what Ohio State did to Oregon in the Rose Bowl. They shut them down. I believe only allowed 3 plays of over 20 yards, and that was all in the second half. That could be wrong. I could have just read that somewhere. But that's what I'm going. And then the under, for same reasons I said, games usually don't break 50 inside Beaver Stadium.
Gotcha. No, I like that, Kev. Now, okay, Kev. Yes, we had 2 cupcake schedules here. Oregon has done better in terms of the schedule, and they have exceeded our expectations in terms of that point differential. I believe their pass defense is about to shut down Drew Aller, and hopefully Nick Singleton and Katron Allen wake up, because they're going to be the only factors that might even keep this game close. After this game, we're going to need to see Coach Benjamin Franklin up there with Keegan-Michael Key. Yes, I just said Benjamin Franklin, because they're going to need to distract the crowd, because his seat is going to be hot after going not 4-20 against ranked opponents, but 4-21 come Sunday. All right. Dang. Ready for the next game? Yes, I introduced AI this game. We're leveling up, people.